Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Oh my gosh, I don't know where these days go. It's like flies by like before I can even like say a boo. Um, but I didn't want to wait until tomorrow to do Craig's of the Week because tomorrow is another eclipse. So I don't know if you have been feeling like, but there's another eclipse coming, and that is part of it. So the full moon tomorrow, a Mercury in retrograde, 5 planets lined up. There is a whole lot of stuff going on out there. So hang in there. And so I wanted to talk about the eclipse. I wanted to talk a little bit more about Mercury in retrograde because it's going to keep on going on for a while. We're going to have Mercury in retrograde till the end of this month. So, we talked before about using your own energy to protect yourself. So there's just all kind of wackadoodle crap that's going to happen. I guarantee you it is. And Mercury is like 1,000 annoyances. It's going to be electronic. It's going to be logistical. It's going to be you can't find stuff. It's going to be when your plans get hijacked and you're late and you can't, it's like all bullshit why you're late and it's stupid reasons. And then you're going to find out the person you're meeting is late because they've got all the same, they're being delayed with bullshit stuff. And then you're going to get there and the place that you are trying to meet at is like being renovated and you have to find somewhere else to go. And so it's 1,000 annoyances. This is Mercury retrograde, okay? But what I want you to understand is that you don't have to suck into it, okay? You don't. So for years, I was like, Mercury retrograde, okay? And you don't have to be that way. And I think that we get so conditioned because everyone's like, it's the moon and freak out and the planets and we freak out. And someone told us that we're supposed to freak out. And so we do because weird stuff happens. So now we have Mercury retrograde and we've had an eclipse and now we're having another eclipse and then we're having the full moon and it's like they're really close together. Everything is happening very quickly. And so it's very easy to get in there and just be like, grip on to something because, hang on tight. And I'm telling you that when you get into that energy where you're hanging on tight and you're really like gripping your energy. This is my Toby dog. It's my Toby dog. He sits in the desk drawer in my desk so that he can be with me. Hi, Toby. High five. Can you high five? Yeah, it's a good boy. So I'm telling you that when you grip onto the energy, that you really send out that negative vibe, that energy that is anticipating crisis and drama. And when you are not having that and you are believing that things are okay and that you're just rolling with it, because there's going to be crap that happens. I promise you there's going to be crap that happens. Crap happens every day, but we notice it more in Mercury retrograde because people are all like, So as you're going forward, just be cool, just relax and allow more time to get from place to place. Be patient with yourself, be patient with others. I find that like every time I step out of my house, I'm being cut off in the car by somebody. And it seems like a lot of times, like 90% of the time it's a white car. I'm not sure what the message is in that, but allow yourself more time. You just roll with it, because if you get yourself all wound up in it, it's just going to make it worse. So just try and be calm and just try and roll with it, and it will pass in about 2 more weeks, but it's always going to be this crazy energy that's part of Mercury in retrograde. So now we're going to add to it. Yay, we're going to add to it because we have these eclipses. So we had the solar eclipse and now we're going to have the lunar eclipse. So and the eclipses, they come in these pairs, but this pair is really close together. So you have the solar eclipse, which is all about new beginnings and new opportunities and shedding light on things, and often happen around the new moon. And now we have the lunar eclipse, which is about emotions and relationship, and we talked about that before because the moon is in the sign of Cancer, so we have the relationships and the drama, but it's also this time of releasing and ending. So we have the eclipse now that is about endings, and so this is the time where, okay, so our energy goes from the new moon, it goes It goes up to the full moon, it comes down to the new moon. So we're in this energy up, and we're in this place of endings and purging. And we've talked about this now for a little while, that this is that time of purging. And this started with the new moon in Cancer, of coming in with pulling toxicity away from us, pulling toxic people away from us, bringing things to the surface. I mean, all you have to do is turn on the news right now, and there is toxicity everywhere, as people are just coming unglued right now over the last 2 weeks. And a lot of that is just the moon energy and the eclipse energy, because we're between these two eclipses, bringing up all of this stuff to the surface. And so I feel like for me, it's like I want to just scream and rip somebody's head off. And at the same time, I'm like so grateful for the universe to bring all this stuff up to the surface so that we can really see what's going on in our world and really start to name it so that we can deal with it. And so that's really what I want us to talk about as far as the eclipses. So we do have the full moon and the eclipse tomorrow. Okay, so the Tuesday. So this is partly why I did not want to wait, even though I know I'm late today. I didn't want to wait to go on tomorrow, because tomorrow we're already now into the eclipse energy. Like, I mean, it's here. So, but when I pulled the cards for the week, I was really because the cards are always right. So I was really just excited, because the first card, the anchor card I pulled, was claircognizance. And cognizance, this is all about the knowing. This is all about your clear knowing. And you don't have to be psychic or medium to have a clear knowing. When you know something, you know. If I ask you what your name is, you know. You just know. You know how to tie your shoes because you know. So that's claircognizance. That's the knowing, when you just know. And so what we're watching, what's going on in our society right now, in our planet, is there's all kinds of stuff that you're just like, I know that, but it's bringing all this stuff to the surface, and all people are being made aware of where there's positive, where there's negative, because as much as there is positive, I can't keep a straight face with him in the camera. I mean, he's just cracking me up. So when we know that there is when there's toxicity, we can brace ourselves for it better. We can handle it better. We can allow it to pass through and not get stuck on us better. When we know that the truth of situations is being revealed, that's what's going on, because all of this is coming up to the surface. The truth of the situation is being revealed, where we have all of this hatred that's been sitting underneath of our surface of our happy society for all this time. And now it's being just released to bubble over, and people are going to have to face their shadows and face their darkness and face the racism and the anger and face all of the shadow energy that they have inside. And so part of this is, it comes into the claircognizance, when you know where the light is, and you know where the darkness is, and you know the difference between right and wrong, and you're willing to stand in the gap for that and stand for what's right. But this is all about the knowing. And I love this, because truly what's going on in our world right now is people, their eyes are just being opened. And some people, their eyes are just being ripped open because they just didn't want to see what was going on, for better or for worse. And so people's eyes are just being ripped open. And so we are all coming to this new level of knowing of what's going on in our world. So this is really, really important. And so, of course, the next card that came up was compassion. And so this is super, super important, because we can know all of these things, and we can get so caught up into the drama and the nasty of it. I mean, I was on Twitter today, and on Twitter they say, oh, you might like this. And so I was on Twitter looking at something. I follow Mark Hamill because I think he posts fun stuff about Star Wars, and I like that. So I was, and then it said, oh, you might like this. And before I knew it, I was into some just area of Twitter that was just all nasty and mean. And I was like, and my dander got up, and I was like, Twitter, and I was like, oh my God, I have to get off of here, because this is what happens. We get sucked into that negative energy vortex. And so you've got to protect yourself. You've got to distance yourself. You've got to keep yourself clean and clear from that toxicity. But we have to have compassion. We have compassion for the people who don't understand what's going on. We have the compassion for the people who are coming here for a better life. We have compassion for the people who are trying to figure all this stuff out. We have compassion for the people who have compassion for the people who are fighting with each other, because we've lost our ability to have civil conversation with each other without it devolving into just screaming. I watched on the Facebook page of a man I know to be a tremendously gentle soul, a healer, and some woman just went off on him with capital letters and screaming at him in this comment of some post that he made, you just don't care. And I'm like, if you read his post, it was because he absolutely cared. And so I love that, Allison. That's awesome. You can hear me. You can feel me coming. But if you read his message, he was all about expressing how much he cared. And so I think we've lost our ability to listen to each other, except Allison. She can apparently hear me. But I think we've lost our ability to listen to each other, and we've lost our ability to disagree compassionately, that you don't have to agree with everybody. You don't have to have the same opinion as everybody, but discussion needs to be about listening and not about winning. And so when we discuss with people, when we discuss with people, it isn't about trying to change their mind, but it is it should be about trying to hear where they're coming from and understand their point of view and their priorities better, to be able to say, okay, I hear that, and here's where I'm coming from, and where can we find compromise to meet in the middle. It isn't about trying to pull this person to your point of view or them pull you to theirs, but it should be about trying to find the place where we can listen and meet in the middle. And we've lost that. And so this card of compassion, especially with what's going on right now with the crisis at our border, this is so important. This is so important that we are not consumed by the anger, because right now there is rampant anger and hatred, and it doesn't matter what party you're in or where you live. The hatred and the anger is rising in our society, and it is just a crisis of our compassion. And that really is what's going on. We have all these different crises, but really for me, the bottom line is a crisis of compassion, that we've lost our ability to have compassion for another person, but for each other, and to be able to listen and to hear. And so we have, in the third card, we have brilliant idea. And so I love this, because when I asked, what is the brilliant idea? Give me the brilliant idea. I want a brilliant idea. What is the brilliant idea? And when I asked, it was not my brilliant idea. It was the idea of that we all would receive. That if we open ourselves to a brilliant idea, it would be sent to us. That each brilliant idea would be sent for the one that's appropriate for you and the one that's appropriate for you, to have your brilliant idea of how you can bring more light to the world, how you can bring more light to the world. So that was what I wanted to share today. And I know we've talked about this a lot, about bringing more light to the world and what you can do to bring more light to the world. So I think that it's time we got to double down on that. We got to really make sure that we are shining the light, because right now the anger and the hatred and the racism is bubbling to the surface, which is great. If you've ever put peroxide on a boo-boo for a kid, or yourself, the peroxide bubbles up and it kills all the bacteria and it cleans out the wound so it can heal. And that's where we are right now. We are in the peroxide and everything is bubbling up. And so it sucks, but it's good. It's good. And we've got to hold on to that part of it. We've got to hold on to that part of it, so that we know, that we remember that we know what is right. We don't forget the things that are right. We have compassion for the people who are struggling along the way, who are trying to find their way, and that we share. It has never been more important than now to share your bright light and your brilliant idea with the world. that now is the time. Absolutely, now is the time. And as we're going through these last 2 weeks of the Mercury retrograde, 2 weeks-ish, and as we come into tomorrow night with the full moon and the next eclipse, just allow the energy to flow, allow the stuff to go past you. Don't get caught up in the drama of it. Remember, this eclipse is about things that are ending, cycles that are ending, relationships that are ending. This is about the purge. Right now, this is about the purge. So it seems like things are being pulled out of your life. This is the purge. Let it go. Let it go. Don't resist. Just let it go. So, all right, I pulled up our postcard from, I had my glasses on, lost my glasses. Our postcard from the universe, our postcard from the universe, it says, Dear you, you are in such good shape right now that we're all doing a happy dance. Yay! That's always good to hear. And you know, I never I just reach in the box and I ask them to give me the right one. So happy dance. You are in such good shape right now that we're all doing a happy dance. In this moment, you have the power to make a choice to get with spirit and co-create a miracle with your brilliant idea. You may wonder where this is all going, but if you want to manifest your desires for the highest good, you need to stay focused on the now. All power is in the present moment. Ask yourself, what are your dominant thoughts now? What beliefs are you motivated by? Do you have clarity right now? How is your conscious contact with the divine? Are you plugged in, or are you trying to do life all by your small self? Get rid of negative energy, resentments, be gone, forgiveness, and love enter, please. You can do your life beautifully and create your most powerful future right here, right now, in this moment. Aren't you thrilled to know that you have this huge cheering section over here? Love and hugs always, the universe. So I love it. I love it. I think these cards are always, they're just exactly spot on with what we've been talking about. Now is the time. Stay in love and gratitude. Stay in that the time of the peroxide. All of this stuff is bubbling up to clean and clear our society and clear it all away so we can heal. So we can heal. Keep your eyes open. You know the truth. Follow the light. And share your light. Share your heart, your compassion. Stay in love and gratitude and share your brilliant ideas, your love, your light, your project, your gift of light that you can share with the world. Have a fantastic week. Mwah. Hang on. The eclipse, if you let it, it can be fun. Let the things flow out of your life that no longer serve you. Let the things go that no longer are in your highest and best interest. Let the universe do the work for you. Trust them. I promise you it'll all be good. Have a great week, you guys. Bye. Oh, if you like this video, share it with your friends. And you know, invite other people to like our page. If you like our video, if you like this video, share it with your friends and invite other people to like our page. Have a great week, you guys.